I don't know if they actually brought it out and were washing it down and everything,
Nice.
you know what I mean? And you can see it. I'm talking about the CEI sign that's on the scoreboard from the road, visible also to the million people that visit this park. It's a good statement by you.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we've been very pleased. We've enjoyed our partnership with the Railhawks, and obviously they're having a great season.
Unbelievable, right? I mean,
Yes,
if
sir.
they win today, Blake, they'll go back into first place. They've already got more wins than they've ever had, and they got 10 games to go. You're kind of a soccer fan. You're a sports fan in general, right?
Yeah, a huge sports fan, and my daughter's getting very, very good in soccer, so they're throwing our Frisbees right now. That's kind of cool.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that is awesome. Those
Yeah.
are the CEI Frisbees. Got to be at least 100 of them or not.
Yeah.
One landed on there. And here's the deal. Because of you, Blake, every Frisbee that's thrown, they bought them for $5. All of that money. Jimmy V Foundation.
Fantastic.
How about that?
Yeah, we're happy to be a part of it. It's been a great thing.
Well, it's funny, too. Frank McCann, who's with the Jimmy V Foundation, just thanked you, as well as Blue Cross and Blue Shield. So
Yeah, I met her down there. She's super nice.
Okay, cool. And Anna Jackson. All right, very good. Okay,
Absolutely.
good.
Things have been great, so we really appreciate you having us, and probably see you in the airport before too long.
Yeah, I always see him everywhere running around to different games and stuff. But with that, tell everybody all about CEI, what you do, and what makes you so special.
Well, we deal with document management solutions, office products, copiers, etc., and that's pretty much it. We're locally owned and operated. We got about 85 people that work for us, and things are going great. We got a brand new facility on Highway 70 directly across the street from Angus Barn. Been really pleased with it.
Marco Rosa, who picked up the Frisbee, said it was really impressive. And if people want to learn more, particularly business leaders that are watching right now that want one of your unbelievable printers that does everything, printing, faxing, you name it, the thing's incredible. Is there a website they can go to, Blake?
CopyCEI.com. Absolutely. It's got our website. It's got, obviously, our website. It's got our commercial and a virtual tour of our facility. It's pretty slick.
CopyCEI.com. Blake Alford getting it done, the head of CEI.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks for being such a great partner.
Absolutely. Good to see you.
Do appreciate it. CEI night here at WakeMed Soccer Park in Cary. Just to show you how great CEI is, they let Blue Cross Blue Shield join in on the fun to raise money for the Jimmy V Foundation. Good stuff from Blake Alford here at WakeMed Soccer Park in Cary. We don't have any goals. We might have a couple replays to look at here, along with Charlie Slagle, the CEO of the Capital Area Soccer League. As we take a look at the stats here, the shots, Carolina had 7, Cleveland had 4, and the saves, as we go to the replays now, looks like Cleveland had 4. Walk us through it here, Charlie.
Cross from the right side, and the ball went up in the air. Goalkeeper came out, and Lemire Lowry got a head on it, but it went right to the goalkeeper. That's where he did the tap of the ball with his left hand.
Joseph Conway plays it into Bundu.
Yeah, Bundu made a good play to get by the goalkeeper after the shot was blocked. And Troy Roberts knocked it out for a corner kick. Plotkin on a great ball to Richardson. Richardson comes through and doesn't do too well with this as he hits it right at the goalkeeper.
That one, I think, was even rising, so I think it may have roofed it anyway over the crossbar. Those are your first half highlights. Want to thank our crew for bringing them to you here. Halftime at WakeMed Soccer Park in Cary. Just over a minute as we're joined up here in the perch with our crew, and I'm Dean Linke. Right here on the left, along with Charlie Slagle, the head of Castle, and now a regular on the program here. And Charlie, as you do more and more games, Brian Wildman just talked about it. Yeah, the Railhawks didn't get any goals, but he said sometimes the way we keep the ball on the field. Now, listen, he didn't mean it that way, and he did that caveat. It's not like Barcelona, but they do play a little bit here, the Railhawks.
No question. There's no question. And as I said, though, at halftime before, I think you're going to see them pick up the pace a little bit. You mentioned it. If you look at the substitutes for both teams, Railhawks have an advantage. If people aren't tired, then you don't have as much of an advantage.
All right, let's give Cleveland a little bit of credit. You know what? Call it a bunker, call it whatever you want, but it appears to be working for the most part. But usually, I think Charlie, you as a very successful coach, if you bunker too long, it finally breaks, right?
No question. You are hoping that everything works right down there, and the idea, though, is to keep the score at 0-0 for as long as you possibly can, and then break out at the right moment or get an opportunity, and steal one. They had that one good opportunity where they got the ball to the outside and didn't quite get the ball in, but there's always a chance that you can score on a counterattack when you do that.
Charlie, you mentioned the fact that in the last 3 games they've outscored their opponents 8-0. Talk about the 8. How about the nothing? Jeremy Tollison and Mark Schulte back there have been pretty good in front of their goalkeeper, no matter who it is.
Tollison is very comfortable back there now, and I think he understands how Schulte's going to play. You had Greg Shields in there, and you're doing a good job, and then you can play with Capono Low, who can play anywhere. I don't think defender is his #1 position, especially out there, but you can add that to it, so you can add a little bit of a component of offense out there.
All right, good stuff. Charlie Slago as we get ready to start the second half. There's Martin Rennie, the very successful and vibrant head coach of the Carolina Railhawks. Brought new life here to the Railhawks. Very involved in the community as well. And
you can tell he doesn't have assistant coaches today. He's talking to the players over there. Now, this is what we're supposed to be doing. This is how we're supposed to be doing it.
And he's up now. He normally sits for most of it. Studies everything. Taking a look out there, does not appear to be any changes, at least any obvious ones, as the Carolina Railhawks come back out with Eric Reed, left to right Capono Low, Jeremy Tollison, Mark Schulte, and Greg Shields, as this played back to Schulte. In the middle, this man, Amir Lowry, along with Brian Plotkin and Joseph Cobway from Zimbabwe. On the wings, Luke Kremelmeyer and Gregory Richardson. Up top, Salyu Bundu. That's your Railhawks starting 11. Played into Richardson. Look at Conte use his body and then pop
Which
it
he
up
has
top.
a big one. He has a big one.
He is a giant man out there. Here's Lowry looking to find Cobway. Hodgkin can't play it. It'll go back to Carolina.
The Carolina Railhawks would like to wish a happy birthday to McKinley Stewart, who is 19 years old.
Hodgkin will win it back wearing the white shoes, and he'll lose it there just as easy to Cobway, and Hodgkin will throw off Cobway and win it back. Hodgkin, good ball up top to the Haitian, Ricardo Pierre-Louis, as Jeremy Tollison gets poked in the face.
If Cobway were from South Africa, would you say Cobway from South Africa?
No.
Okay, just checking.
Good question. Sort of. This one, here's Gibson. Up top to Ricardo Pierre-Louis. Aguilera, left side to Hodgkin. Hodgkin, far side.
Got a little bit too much on that one. Bennett let the ball in. Easier for players to run onto it, but he hit it a little bit too hard.
Rolling into the second half. Want to thank our crew again. Matt Bachman's the director. Joseph Meyer-Salmon, producer. On camera, Kyle Lang, Josh Rivas, and Bob Ellis. Dean Linke along with Charlie Slago. Want to say hello to, I believe it's the Green Army in Cleveland, the fine fans of the Cleveland City Stars, and everybody watching on USLLive.com.
You haven't said Kremelmeyer's name in the last 30 minutes or so. Hasn't gotten the ball that much over here on the right-hand side.
Here's Shields now. Cleveland continues to bunker. Here's Amir Lowry. Richardson.
Good job by Warren Kanu there on Richardson.
Good run now here by Leo Gibson. Up to Ricardo Pierre-Louis. He'll try to get going. Eric Reed able to beat Ricardo Pierre-Louis to the ball. And somehow Lowe keeps it alive, headed perfectly to Cobway. Those are the kind of plays that can lead to something. This one played over to Richardson, but too strong. Almost did lead to something.
Bundu had a good idea there, just hit it a little bit too hard, a little bit too much pace. Richardson wasn't going to get there. Great play by Lowe to keep that in, but not only keep it in, he actually passed it to somebody.
And indeed, if it would have been a goal, that play could have been forgotten, but it would have been a key part of that play, right?
Right, and you noticed, maybe you didn't, but he went to the sideline first to make sure it was going to come in, so he came in on the ball as opposed to be backing up on that. So
right.
It was a good play.
Able to get a little bit of velocity there with it. Stewart to Hodgkin, try to do the give and go, and it'll go off of Capono Low. Nice job from Cleveland.
Yeah, good. Had the penetrating pass in there, and Capono did not know what was behind him. Had to reach for it, touched it out of bounds. If he had let it go, it would have gone out of bounds also, but it would have been a goal kick. Hodgkin's going to take this corner kick here. It's going to be an in-swinger, taking it with his left foot.
All right, Hodgkin's on it now.
Amir Lowry looks like he has a date in here.
This one driven in. Schulte gets taken to the ground.
There must be some acting going on there too, because it can't be that easy to knock Schulte down.
He's a big man.
at the LGFCU box office.
A lot of pushing and shoving goes on in those corner kicks.
'50th minute, no score.
This is a game that the Railhawks need to get 3 in. Playing at home, at the top of the table, playing one of the teams at the bottom.
Plotkin over the top. Bundu is off. He is off. The flag stayed up.
An offside on Bundu. Now you got the trifecta this weekend, announcing 3 games?
No, just 2.
Oh, I thought you had one tomorrow too.
No, slowing down, Charlie.
Oh, okay. Did the W League final last night, which is also USL.
It is USL, and indeed, Pally Blues, an impressive team. In just their second year of existence, they're now 26 wins, 0 losses, and 3 ties. You tell me if that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
And 2 W League championships, knocking off the very successful Washington Freedom. They were the 07 winners, the Pally Blues the 08 winners, so it was quite the battle.
Where did you have to go for that game?
That was in the Maryland Soccerplex, which is a beautiful place, by the way, in Germantown, Boyd's, Maryland over there.
No question. Been there a few times.
But we're here now at one of the premier facilities in the country, talking about WakeMed Soccer Park in Cary. WakeMed Stadium. Gibson. Cleveland looking dangerous. Shields takes his time. How about that veteran understanding of the game? A lot of players just would have headed it deep.
No, he just took it down when he had to and then didn't play it until he was ready to play it. This could be a good opportunity right here.
Plotkin plays it to Richardson after getting that ball from Bundu. Richardson trying to stay with it. Marked up there by Warren Canoe. Plotkin now with Gibson nipping at his feet. Plotkin stays with it with that left foot. And normally that left foot is lethal, but it looked like he was off balance.
Yeah, I think he pushed it a little bit too far with the touch before and had to reach for it.
Chosen as tonight's nephews fan of the game. Tonight's winner is sitting in section 101, row F, seat 14. That's section 101.
I think it's cooled down a couple degrees here.
Seat 14.
Yeah, not too bad.
To announce, I think still out there on the field might be a little bit tough.
True. Although, you know what, when you talk to the players, I love that point, because when you talk to them, no matter how hot it is, once they get their body moving, they say it actually doesn't affect them quite as much, which I thought was interesting. What's your take on that?
Well, if you're used to it. It was interesting when we were in Sweden. It was about 75 degrees, and, of course, our kids were loving it, and the Swedes were going, oh, my gosh, you can't believe how hot it is here. And very little humidity either, so haven't helped them if they have to come over here during this time of the year.
Yeah, that's true. If you're used to it, well said. All right, Cleveland now been able to stand up to the Railhawks attack, and they'll knock it out of bounds as it looks like the big man Conte may have got his wind knocked out a little bit, holding his stomach there.
Check on him. I did not see what happened on that play. Railhawks off for a week, huh, after this?
Yeah, get a little bit well-deserved break.
Then they play Vancouver twice, home and home.
Well, their schedule's interesting at the end. It's basically a Vancouver, Montreal, and Puerto Rico show with Rochester and Miami sprinkled in, as their last 5 games feature Puerto Rico and Montreal.
Well, usually we like to have Vancouver come to town, but when they're coming to town with a long road trip and you're coming from there yourself, it's a little bit different.
Lizzie Coleman helping out the Cleveland player. Well, what do you think of the pace? You thought it would be a little faster for the Railhawks. Have they been the speed you wanted them to be, Charlie?
I think they've been a little bit faster here as far as putting pressure on, a little bit more high pressure by the team as a whole, and move the ball. They've had a couple good opportunities in the first 8 minutes, and I think that is a direct result of them playing a little bit higher pressure. The ball will be kicked back to the Cleveland City Stars as they knocked it out of bounds because of the injury. Something that happens in almost all levels of soccer.
The big man Conte back up again, as you said, Charlie.
That was a dangerous pass. Cleveland kept possession of.
Aguilera. Stewart. Cleveland now starting to play a little bit.
Good stuff until they went to outside of the middle third.
Hodgkin came in there, studs up a little bit. Good thing he didn't get any piece of shields, or he might have got a card on that one.
Yeah, because he's probably been close. He's been called a couple times for fouls. Shields does not mind going forward.
Looks like Rod Underwood getting ready to go to his bench first. Kremmelmeyer plays it first time to Boondu, but Troy Roberts undresses him and gets the ball. 56th minute. Bangura Tete, that's how they told me downstairs. Bangura Tete getting ready to check in, wearing number 9 for the City Stars.
Well done.
Leo Gibson.
Out of possession here for Cleveland. Not necessarily in a dangerous dangerous area, though they kicked it out of bounds.
Roberts feeling the pressure there from Gregory Richardson, and Tete looks like he's going to check in for Ricardo Pierre-Louis. The Haitian will come off. Remember in the first half, Ricardo Pierre-Louis was dangerous, but maybe dribbling a little bit too much. Got his pocket picked twice, Charlie, in the first 45.
They held on to the ball a little bit too much in a couple situations. A foul there. Referee doing a little talking. I think if Hodgkin does something, a foul like you said before, or anything that's close, he's very close to a yellow card.
Pono Lowe's over it now.
Looking for Schulte, I would imagine. Last time the ball was just a little bit short.
Lowe. Driven in. Schulte's head, just like Charlie Slagle said. Tried to flick it with his back to the goal. Not easy to do, but got it on frame.
He got it up a little bit, and goalkeeper, of course, has the advantage because they can reach up and get a little bit higher.
Already,
dangerous play here.
Dangerous. He gets it in, squares it. Railhawks feeling the pressure. Hard tackle coming in from Hodgkin as Capono Lowe goes down, and that might be finally time for Hodgkin to get a yellow. Still no.
That's the old reach into the pocket. Oh, I'm almost going to give you one, so you know that the next one is there.
You've seen that move before.
Yeah, we have. I've seen it done to me, actually.
On the bench as a coach, you mean?
Yeah, back in the day when you could actually get a caution on the bench. Now they just tell you what you got.
Schulte. Lowry. Back to Schulte. Charlie, not a whole lot of urgency yet for the Railhawks.
It isn't. I think they picked up the defensive pressure. They're still content to pass the ball around, and you're getting some of these where mistakes are made, and you get a counterattack by the Cleveland City Stars.
I'll tell you what, at first glance, it certainly looks to me like Bangura Tete is pretty dangerous.
Yeah, so far he's proven that. We'll see what happens as they go.
Bangura Tete, rather. Boondu into space. Kremmelmeyer thinking about dialing one up. No problem, though, for Evan Bush.
Good play there by Boondu, getting the ball on the chest to Kremmelmeyer. Kremmelmeyer took a good shot. Once again, that target must be on Bush's jersey because his ball seems to go there.
Yeah, he's
an offside right here.
Not had to move a whole lot.
That's the old where the assistant referee puts his arm, like came back from over the front to from an offside position when the ball was kicked and got it in an onside position, which is still offside.
Shields with Daniel Palladini getting ready to come in with Josh Gardner, his brother-in-law, and now Daniel Palladini's got I believe a nephew. I need to check on that. I believe it was a little boy. This one to Bundu.
Daughter Addison Grace.
I had a 50-50 shot and I blew it. So now Daniel's got a niece as his sister and the wife of his good friend Josh Gardner. I want to congratulate the Gardners on the birth of Addison Grace. Thank you for correcting me, Charlie. Nonetheless, certainly a reason to celebrate.
It's tough to tell when they're that young what their gender is.
Moral of the story, never guess. 61st minute. This game has come to a screeching halt at the moment right now, Charlie.
Not a lot of going on.
Here's a ball.
There's getting to be more room.
Bundu through to Plotkin. Too strong, though, again. And Roberts will knock it out of bounds as we're waiting for Daniel Palladini and Josh Gardner to get on. And certainly they will change the way this one runs as Luke Kremelmeyer will head over. And with the Railhawks even at 0, I think Martin wouldn't mind if Luke picked up the pace just a little bit. As I'll tell you one thing, Martin Rennie will not be content with 1 point in this one.
No, this is a game where if you're near the top of the table and you're playing a team that's near the bottom of the table, you're going to be looking for 3.
And Joseph Kabwe from Zimbabwe will also make way for Daniel Palladini, so it'll be Palladini and Plotkin in the middle.
Kabwe was involved in the play quite often. As I said earlier, Kremelmeyer was involved early in the first half and then just a little bit right here. Long stretches where he did not get the ball.
Gardner's first touch, trying to ping it over to Richardson. Shields plays it to Patterson. Richardson wearing number 20 into Shields. Comes the counter for Cleveland. It's Ryan Stewart. Aguilera, now Leo Gibson. Gibson's got Stovall making a run on the far side, but doesn't find anybody. Palladini. Good ball into space to Bundu. Too strong, though.
It's a tough first ball to come in. Haven't kicked a ball in a while and trying to play one into the corner.
Jason Hodgkin will come off now as Oka Arson will come into the game. He wears Oka on the back of his jersey.
So they're taking out both their strikers.
It's actually Arson Oka. All right, taking out both their strikers in Hodgkin and Ricardo Pierre Luis.
Another offside.
Shields.
This has not been the sharpest that we've seen the Railhawks play. Plenty of time left, though.
Andre Budny, who had that big assist to Capono Low in the 90th minute, will come on for Salyu Bundu. And Budny, a different kind of player, a player that can get wide on the flank as well, and Budny gets involved right away. His first touch lets him down, and one back by the Cleveland City Stars. Ryan Stewart. Left side to Anthony Stovall. Those two players started in the Cleveland's championship game 1 year ago. Tete plays it back to Aguilera. Palladini will win it. Then Lowry, but one back by Aguilera. Now Gibson with an overlapping run coming from Oka. Now Stovall. Stovall. No problem for Eric Reed.
Fans, the Carolina Railhawks would like to take this opportunity.
Josh Gardner
to recognize Dr.
trying to find Andre Budny. It'll go off the head of Conte, and it'll be a throw in Carolina Railhawks. Any way you can do it, that'll work.
No question. And I think if you talk to Rod Underwood, he would take a 0-0 game prior to this game, 65 minutes in.
Although they also need to start thinking about 3 points if they have any hope of a playoff spot that continues to look dim.
Their last 10 games, they have not won a game and have tied 5 and lost 5.
Ooh, they'll give that one back to Cleveland. Gardner didn't like that call.
We have a ball on the field. Gardner did not want to do that. Referee probably talking to him a little bit. Can't tell from here.
Throwing back to Carolina. It's pretty silent right now, Charlie. A lot of emotion. Everybody feeling the heat or something's going on.
Yeah, no wind, no emotion. It's just back and forth. But this may be a good play if he's onside. He is.
It's Daniel Palladini's got Richardson and Plotkin inside the 18. Now Budny, top of the box. Palladini will turn around the other way, plays it in, and comes right back out. Troy Roberts able to head it away.
Great move by Palladini. Then I think he'd like to have that cross back. Looked like he was coming out with the ball and then going to try to cross it there. They give a corner kick. Some of the Railhawks are looking for a handball, but corner kick will be taken by Palladini.
That means Mark Schulte will come forward along with Amir Lowry, Capono Lowe, Brian Plotkin's in there, Andre Budny, so is Gregory Richardson. Staying out is Jeremy Tollison and Greg Shields, and also Josh Gardner giving Palladini an option if he wants it. Palladini decides to drive this one in right in front of the frame, and they'll say it went off of Plotkin's head. Well done for Plotkin to get on it.
Went up and got that ball. It was just wide. He was well marked. Good play by him, though.
I want to say hello to Josh Gardner's wife and their young daughter, Addison Gray. Lowe tried to keep it in bounds and couldn't quite do it.
Closing in on that 70-minute mark. Free kick here, going to be dangerous. Here's Coach Rod Underwood.
Coach of the Cleveland City Stars, his first season, replacing Martin Rennie.
He's been in a lot of places due to the sport of football.
Inside the box. Tete got his head on it, but over the crossbar. No real danger there, Charlie Slagle.
No. And once again, it's still a lot of looking like going through the